This is the simplest workout split to improve your body after 40. For those who have uncertainty keeping them from making the progress they desire, especially as they're getting older, we're just going through the exercises so I can give out a couple of cues and intentions that you can have while doing this workout split. So day 1 has already been uploaded, and if you do that day and this day, alternate back and forth. On both days, we're starting from the ground up. Everything that our body works through has to get through the feet and through the ground. If you have knee pain, if you have back pain, they all work down the chain through the ground. So the first thing we'd like to start at is at the ankles, and we're starting here with calf raises. Start with just any calf raise, as you see me doing on a standing machine first. Get down into that stretch. That way your calves can get stronger out of that stretch. Do 3 sets, and don't go for any set amount of reps. Again, this is something else I'll talk about in another video. I'd just like you to start your first exercise of day 2 with 3 sets of calf raises, where the first set is your heaviest weight. Make it just really challenging. You can work your way up to that so you know you're doing it properly. And then after your first set, where you only got a few reps, do your second set with less weight, and you'll get a few more reps, and then drop the weight one more time for your third set. Make sure you're giving yourself adequate rest. 2 to 3 minutes is ideal, and if it's ever more than that, upwards of 5 minutes, that's never gonna be a bad thing. And then we're moving up the chain, so the next section from the ankle becomes the knee. So we're going over to our quad exercise. I call these foot elevated knee bends. All we'd like to focus on, and what I'll stress over and over again, is training out of the stretch is the most important facet of training. So if you're just doing quad extensions, it's not gonna be a surprise if your knees start having pain, because those quad muscles are gonna get so tight since they're not allowed to get in the deepest stretch. Something like this is gonna take load away at the start and just get you into these deeper ranges. And something I tell everyone is treat all your muscles like rubber bands. Do we desire to have these thick, dense rubber bands that can only pull this far? Or do we desire to have elastic, strong rubber bands or muscles? If you have those thick, dense rubber bands or muscles, then if they ever get forced to pull this far, what's gonna happen? They're just gonna snap or have pain. We'd rather these muscles that are able to get out to their full range and still have strength to pull us back into a safe position. Which specifically for this knee exercise or quad exercise, what you see me doing here is putting my hand underneath my knee. Why am I doing that? Without explaining it too much. If I push against my knee, my body will resist me. So it's gonna try not to get into that stretch, and then you're just gonna feel pain in your knee, because it's like you're cramming yourself in the position, rather than imagine my fist is a watermelon that I am exploding by closing my leg against it. If I can have that level of squeeze, that's gonna give me the most stretch, like you see us focusing on for this exercise. That's what's most important. So for these, you might not feel like you're getting as fatigued as something that'd be a heavier load, a leg press, a quad extension. However, if you can really feel yourself getting new levels of range, if your knee couldn't bend so far a month ago, do these twice a week, 3 times a week, and you're gonna see how much further your knees can bend, and not only how much further they can bend, but how good they feel when they bend that far. Do 3 sets per side. The more your foot is elevated, the easier it's gonna be, the less body weight load is gonna be pushed against that quad muscle. The lower that bench, or eventually on the ground level, it's gonna be all your body weight. And then once you're strong enough from there, you can start adding weight. Start by decreasing load and increasing range, focusing on pulling in to feel the stretch, and then the cue, pushing the bench through the wall. If you can use that as your cue, you're gonna get in the stretch and then use the muscles you desire to use, not just get in and out of the stretch. Push yourself as many reps as it takes for you to really feel it. And once you start to feel it, that's not the goal, that's the start. Once you're feeling it, you can keep doing reps as much as you can push through the burn, and then do more, and then you're good. Before we move up to the next chain, we've done the ankle, we've done the knee, now we're at the hip. We're working on the glutes here. Today is the extension day. The 2 days of the split are a flexion and extension day. When it comes to our glutes here, you can pick any glute exercise. All we would like to be focused on is closing this angle at the hip. So when I'm standing, what angle is this? 180 degrees. It's a straight line. How do we close the angle? Well, what angle is this now? 90 degrees. So when you're closing that angle, the other side is stretching. So that's how you would like to get into the stretched position to use those muscles to push out. If you record your glute exercise and see that your hip's not actually what's doing most of the movement, other things are just contorting, well then the muscles you're attempting to work are just doing whatever they can to avoid being worked and recruit help from their friends or the other muscles around them. So really focus on how these are being done for the same scheme. 3 sets. The first set you're doing heavy. You can work your way up before it and just get a few reps with whatever weight is really challenging. Then drop the weight, do it for a few more reps this time, as many as you're able to do. And the third set you'll drop one more time and you'll get the most reps. That's the set where we'd like to be closer to double-digit reps. Anywhere from 8 to 15 is going to be ideal for set 3, right? Set 2 is going to be a little more like 6 or 7 reps. Set 1, the ideal is under 5. And so, well, it's more than that, you're just gonna know, hey, next week we're gonna move the weight up for our first set because we were able to do it for so many. That's gonna be the general scheme. And as we keep moving up the body, your next exercise is for low back. These are our Jefferson curls. And this setup can be done 2 ways. It can be done for glutes and hams or for low back. Notice my hips and my pant line. If my pant line stays in the same direction throughout the whole exercise, then my hips are staying still and only the things above our hips, aka our low back, are being asked to work. That's what we're looking for here. So do your best to keep your hips still during your Jefferson curls like this, and then you're really gonna feel what it feels like for your low back by think like you're doing an ab crunch to get down to the bottom of this position, and then use those low back muscles to pull just your upper back up. If you're pulling your lower back up, your hips are doing it. So keep your lower back in the same position and just lower and raise your upper back like you see us doing here. As you get stronger, you can load weight by holding it up above your head here. And the other positions, it's gonna be hardest with your hands up at your head, all the way to easier as your hands get closer to back to your hips. Or if you need to give yourself extra support and assistance, you can have your hands on the handles like that, taking load or weight away. That's what you'd like to focus on to work on your low back, a muscle that for years they've been telling us that you can only train in isometric positions, when they don't tell us that about any other muscle. They don't say, oh, you can only train your bicep when it's being held in a contraction. They tell us train your bicep through its range. So why would our low back be any different? It's not, and because we've treated it different is the reason that most people, as they're getting older, deal with low back pain, because it's one of these muscles that's never being taken through its range. So whether you do this whole split or not, at least add something like this to the split you're currently doing. And if you don't have a split to currently follow and keep yourself consistent, that's what this is here for. Now we've moved up to the upper body and we're going to our traps, where we want to do a row like this. Your traps connect to your shoulder blades. So when your shoulder blades spread apart and pinch together, that's being worked by this muscle. So think like you're pinching a pencil in between the shoulder blades of your back. That's the contraction. And then you're just pushing forward. Again, same scheme, same reps and weight idea for your 3 sets. And as you really get into the flow of this workout, you can check our other videos to advance to get more out of these workouts. And in the meantime, just take this as your plug and play system, your formula, so that way you do have a workout just to be following and you can at least get as much as you can from these. The traps aren't just these upper traps that hold up here. The traps are literally a giant cross or T-like muscle that go through the bulk of your back. So once you've done that, move over to our triceps here. Again, we're doing all of our extension today. So extension at the elbow, taking it from a bent angle to an open one. That's what the extension is gonna be for all these muscles. You can do any exercise that you feel best for any of these muscles. For triceps specifically, the one I'm putting in recommendation are tricep overhead pushaways, where you get on a cable, you hold the rope, and your focus is pulling your arms in like you're doing a curl, so you get this tight bend and tight angle at the elbow. That's where the stretch allows you to get breakdown and drive out with the tricep. Same system's gonna apply. Do your 3 sets. First one being your heaviest, drop the weight for the second, and drop the weight again for the third. And your reps stay inverse of your weight. As it's heavier, you're gonna get less at the start. And as you drop the weight, even while being fatigued, you're still gonna get more reps. And once you've done this, these are your triceps, you're on to your last exercise. Again, this is the simplest workout split to improve your body after 40. It's a 2-day workout split. This is the second day of it. And the last exercise you have here are anything for your lateral delts, which is just gonna give your frame that wide look, especially for those of you who have a higher body fat than you desire to have right now. As your body starts leaning down, these are the muscles that give you that superhero figure, the Dorito physique. Not that we wanna look like a Dorito, that we'd like this ratio that you see in cartoons. This is the exercise that's gonna do it. Just basic lateral delt raises. And there are better exercises for the lateral delts. However, this is gonna be just the simplest one that you're gonna gain from if you do 3 sets of. Your first set will be your heaviest. It'll still be pretty light. And just go through the 3 sets. By the end of it, you will feel this burning. And the only key indication to think of during these are pushing the dumbbells in your hands out to the side. If you think about raising them up, your traps are gonna take over more times than not. So rather than think about getting these weights up, the weights are anchored to this pivot point, right, at your shoulder. So if you just push out, they're gonna get up too. But that contraction is gonna make it so you can only do half the weight because it's actually being done properly. So go through this workout, do day 1 and day 2. Back and forth. You can literally do them every day. Destiny is gonna give you rest days, and when you get those rest days, that's the beauty of you getting to recover on top of what you're doing. And even if you end up 2 weeks back and forth on this split every day straight, body's gonna be perfect. It's gonna take on all those stressors, and then once it gets its rest, it's gonna say, hey, if we have another 2 weeks like that, we gotta be ready to adapt. Once you feel like you're really in the groove of things with this workout split, you can start adding another exercise per muscle. So instead of just 1 tricep exercise or 1 calf exercise, after you've done all these, go do 1 more calf exercise. Go do 1 more tricep exercise. Start adding in a second one per muscle, and you're gonna be perfect. I'm making videos on the best exercises known to man, so you can refer to that series to plug and play any second exercises, and you can look all over the place. We are grateful for all the creators who are putting out so much different content for us to be able to pick from, to play from. Use the gym as your opportunity to play like you're a kid at recess. Learn what you can, dive in with a playful mindset, and say, hey, this is my opportunity to better myself. So what would I like to that I don't know yet? Go learn. Gotta love being a beginner. Take these intention and these cues to get the most out of this split, because it's never about what you do. It's about how you do it. It's about the intention that goes behind what you're doing. So if you just go through the motions, there's not gonna be a split to give you the improvements you desire. However, if you have the right intentions, you can do it with almost any split. Uncertainty is gonna be the biggest thing that keeps you from where you desire. So eliminate your uncertainty. Follow the simplest workout split to improve your body after 40, and go back and forth between day 1 and day 2. Grateful to be here for you guys. You can reach out on Mr. Rotator Cuffs Guy for implementation, and I'll work with you one-on-one so you can actually make sure things aren't just going over your head and you're getting the most for your time. And other than that, keep loving it, keep working out, and keep seeing your dream body become your reality. So whether you're the one running it or there's somebody in your life that would benefit from it, send it to them, save the video, drop us a like, and subscribe to Man of Yourself, where we focus on more than just training. It's training, nutrition, and mindset. And no more than anything, you're gonna internalize it through your own experience. So just keep yourself in the field, baby. Let's go. Love y'all.